Yeah, no problem. Obviously, last week did not come out like we'd hoped. Tremendous credit to ULM and their coaching staff and their players. Did a tremendous job and did a really good job against us. And we're obviously disappointed with the result, but we got to make sure that we stick with our process. And looking forward to get back this week and facing another great opponent in Troy.
Thank you so much, Coach. Our first questions come from Dan McDonald with The Advocate. Dan, please go ahead.
Morning, Coach.
Good morning.
How big was it for you? Your guys fell behind, and obviously you're a run-based team. Is it more difficult on a team that concentrates on the ground attack if you do fall behind early?
Obviously, with our identity on offense and what we do, we want to try to get control early and, want to make sure that we're, as we're playing, we're having success and we're keeping everything close. I do think that we do have the ability to come back. We've shown that against New Mexico State. And I think we have the ability. I think, though, that obviously, perfect world, we're getting our run game going. We're controlling how the pace of the game goes, and we're controlling, how much the opponent's offense has the ball and, not allowing them to get anything. Like on defense, making sure that we keep everything in front of us and not get anything cheap. So, obviously we got out of what has been successful for us this year, and we weren't able to answer it.
Going into this week's game, obviously a whole lot riding on it. How important is it for you guys just to sort of, flush the last one and move forward?
I think it's really important. If we let that linger, it's going to affect us. And so we got to do a tremendous job of, making the corrections, making sure we understand what we did as a staff and as players, that we can't make the same mistakes again. But then we got to let it go, and we got to move on to the next one. I feel really good about our football team in that I think we're able to do that. But this is going to be the first true test of that type of adversity. So it'll be interesting to see with us.
You're playing your last home game, at least regular season and so forth. Does that add a little bit more to it?
I think it should. I mean, we've definitely performed better at home than on the road. And, we got we're going to have to make sure we find an answer for that. But we are at home. This is the seniors' last go-around and at Paulson. And so, I think that's something that they need to make sure that, it's special to them. So, there'll definitely be some things that, our guys are excited about. And obviously it being Troy and a great opponent, we better make sure we bring our best game.
How much are you guys looking at the standings now and figuring out the possibilities?
I think that's a mistake for our football team. I know we are aware of it, and it's important that we address it and put that out there, because we can act like we're going to ignore it if we want to, but there's just so much that goes on social media. There's things that, it's going to happen. So we're going to sit here and go, hey, this is what it is, but this is not what we have to focus on, because we start focusing on that, then we're going to get away from what has got us to this point to begin with.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Yep, no problem.
Thank you, Dan. Our next questions come from Travis Johnson with the Savannah Morning News. Please go ahead, Travis.
Hey, Coach. How are you?
Great. How are you?
Doing well. Can you update us on the status of safety Sean Freeman, and then kind of tell us the impact that his absence had on this game this week?
Sean's a good football player, and not having him for the last few weeks is something that's is hurt us. Not necessarily with the next man up, but just his senior leadership, his just ability to go out there and really help the defense. It is something that we've missed, and we could have definitely used him last week, but that's not the way the cards got dealt. And he's still recovering from his injury, and you know, we're going to keep looking at him daily, and hopefully we can get him out here for this week. But you know, this may all go all the way to a game time decision with him.
And then, Coach, was there any specific reason the last 2 games for Curtis Rainey not starting?
No, just you know, we just made a decision to go a different way in the first couple games. I mean, in those games, and no particular reason at all.
All right, Coach. Thank you.
No problem.